Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of this channel called Patrick the Runner. My name is Patrick Sheridan, and I am here as always to talk about running. I wanted to say again a big thank you to everyone who's been tuning in so far. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe as always. And we're going to get stuck into the video now for this week. And as you all know, I've been preparing over the last 68 weeks or so for an 800-meter race, and let's go and see how I get on in Abbottstown in Dublin. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so here is just before the race has started. You can see that I'm actually speaking to the guy that's beside me in lane 6 there. I'm in the red and yellow, and what I'm actually doing is asking him where the break is. By break, I'm referring to a few tennis ball sort of shaped objects that I saw on the track. Really small things, but basically they tell you where you can then go back into lane 1, because as you can see it's a staggered start there, so you have to stay in your lane for the first 60 meters or so. Then about 10 seconds ago you can see me throwing something off the track that was just a wee spike, so someone's spike off their shoe had come off, and that was that. You can then see here actually that I stumble a wee bit about a few seconds before the start, and that was just a wee bit of nerves. So at that stage I was telling myself, just calm down and make sure you race well. So I get out really well here, I actually think, and I made a conscious decision there to compose myself and slow down, because I didn't want to get to the front too soon. I didn't want to get to the front at all, and I thought I would just let the pacers do their thing. Round here now, I think I probably actually made my first mistake here. I probably should have either committed to going in front of the guy beside me there or going behind him, but instead I stayed in the second lane, and that probably cost me about half a second or so. But I go through in high 27 there, so it was pretty good. And at this point, I am actually trying to concentrate on my form. But at about this point here, I do vividly remember thinking, flip, the race is nearly halfway done already. This is mad. It was just going so quickly. But I'm really trying to focus here on keeping my knee drive high, but also extending my legs out at the back and just keeping my stride as strong as possible. And I go through there in high 55, low 56. So I knew I was on for something good if I could just maintain this. And this is where the race really started to hurt. I knew I really had to dig in. Andrew Kosker in here, the pacer, drops off, and I just knew then that it was just the four of us, and I was just hanging on for dear life, but also trying to move as quickly as I could and just tried to work as hard and to do the best I could to try to catch the guy in front of me or try to get as close to him as possible. And I go through there in a high 124, so I knew again I was on for something big if I could just hold on to it. And then the finish is just about digging in as much as I can, and I was under a massive amount of physical stress here and pain, but I just tried to enjoy it as much as I could. If that sounds silly, maybe it does, but that's what I was trying to do. I was really just trying to dig in and tell myself, you're on for something big here if you can just dig in. And then I was telling myself, go into the line, dip over the line, and that's what I did. So at that point, I had a fair idea that I had run a big PB. Okay, everyone, so I'm very happy to say that I have actually done something that I've said I was going to do on the channel. So I had a couple of disappointments a few months ago with the sub 15 5k attempts. It was a wee bit short. So I've said the last while I wanted to run 155 for the 800 there, and that was the goal that I've been working towards for the last 6 weeks or so. So I've done everything I could do to run that. I had a really disciplined Christmas where I was trying to watch what I was eating and also training flat out. And I'm so happy to now have run 154.52, I think was the exact time today. And I'm really happy with that, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. Ideally, I was going to dip under 155, and that's what I did. I think the splits were, I think roughly the first 200 was 27, then 27, then maybe like a 29, and then a 30 or something along those lines. But it doesn't really matter. I've got what I wanted to get. And to be honest, I'm so delighted with the result. I think Andrew Kosker, an Olympian, I think he's the Irish 1500 record holder, was pacing, and then I think there was another guy who was very high level who won the race, and obviously second and third were good guys too. So I came fourth, and I think in a race out of about 10. It was the first heat I was in, so I was in the faster race, and I couldn't have asked for more, to be honest. I am really happy, and a lot of work has gone into that, but I also do feel like I'm just getting started, and I feel like in a week or two, or a month or two I should say, I'll have a lot more to give there. And I feel like even today, if I'd done things differently, I could have run a bit quicker, but I also feel like I did so many things right. So what I'm really just saying is that I think it's a really good start, but that's all it is. I really do think I'm just getting started, and I think onwards and upwards But I just wanted to say a really big thank you to everyone who has been giving me messages of support for this and telling me that they think I'm in a good place, and that's been really, really helpful. And I really hope that you've taken something from the sessions I've been doing, because without sounding arrogant, I put a lot of time and a lot of thought into the videos that I do, but into my own training as well. So when I'm making videos, I don't give out my advice or tell you what I think you could be doing lightly. There's definitely a lot of consideration and thought going into it. So I'm hoping that you guys can now see, right, this has actually worked for him, like he's done this right. And I'm hoping that you have enjoyed seeing me make the progress that I've been hoping to make, and hopefully you can continue to enjoy seeing me doing that. So again, thanks everyone so much, and I really, really am so happy with the result. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed watching the race, and thanks very much. Also with these races, I think it's really important to say that I was definitely nervous before this, but I kept telling myself that this is what I've been training for. This is what I've been training in the cold and in the dark and in the early mornings for. This is why I've been running twice a day. This is why, obviously twice a day, 2 times a week, but this is why I'm training about 11 days a week, including my gym session, including the core that I do during the week, including all the stretching and mobility work that I've been doing. This is what all that has been for. So sometimes I find as an athlete, and I've done this in the past when I was younger, it is easy to get nervous on the day and to allow yourself to develop a mindset of, oh, I'm looking forward to this is over. But like, I do not tolerate that type of a mindset. I don't let myself get into that way of thinking. I was telling myself this has to be a good race. You have to come home knowing that you've given it your best, and your best isn't just showing up and running and then saying at the end, oh, I'll give it everything. It's actually focusing on the moment. It's actually having the nerve to execute the race plan that you have and to execute what you've actually been preparing for in training. And that really is, I would say, a very important aspect of racing at a high level. And obviously I haven't got to the highest level. I haven't got to, an international championship stage yet. But what I'm saying is that this was a high quality race, and I had to make sure that I performed, and I had to make sure that I was ready to go. So really what I was telling myself was that this is a great opportunity for me. I was in a fantastic race with fantastic athletes, and I just needed to deliver what I knew I could do. And I do know I can perform, and I also do, when I say I'm nervous, I always do have a lot of confidence in myself, and I have confidence that, like, to be honest, I have a gift here in that I'm able to run, and it's something that has come naturally to me. But I also have confidence in the training I've been doing, and I know that I have been putting in the work. So I wasn't intimidated by anyone. I thought it was great that I was running against these guys, and I just developed a mindset that basically was to try to stay as close to these guys as you can for as long as you can, because you also have to be realistic. I've only really started training again the last 15 or 16 months, and I wasn't realistically going to win the race. So I had to tell myself that if I wasn't going to win, I needed to get as close as I could, and I needed to fight for every second, and that's really what I tried to do. So before rounding up, I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who's been sending me messages of support over the last few weeks in the build-up to the race. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you're all happy to see me run under the 155 goal that I set myself for the 800 meters. And I really do feel like it is just the start of things to come, and I really do feel now that I'm a proper runner again, because that was a big race that I was in at the weekend. It was a high quality race, and I think that I dug in and I managed to grind out a big PB, which I'm really happy about. So I hope that everyone else can see that the training I'm doing is paying off, but also that they can see that if they incorporate some of the things that I'm doing into their own training, that they can also get benefits from. So I hope you all out there can do just that and see that you really can make big steps forward in your running if you do a lot of the things that I've been talking about, but also a lot of the things that you know yourself you should be doing. And if you just stay consistent, keep variety in your training, try to follow some of the things I've said in previous videos, and just look after yourself, look after your health, you really can get places with your running. So I hope you really all did enjoy that. Moving forward, I've now got the 1500 meter race at the weekend on Sunday. That's Sunday the 14th, I think, of January. It's at around 3 o'clock, again in Dublin, in the same place. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm hoping to run 3:50 for the 1500, as I've said before. And after that, the next video is obviously going to be about that race, and I'm going to do a bit of an analysis there. But for the coming weeks, I'm going to be focusing more on my general fitness again. I think I'm probably going to do a 10k in April. Before that, I will have the national indoors, so I'm going to be training for both those at the same time almost, because I'm going to be focusing on those middle distance races again in the middle of February. But I also want to make sure that I'm progressing my aerobic base and that my endurance is also moving forward in the right direction. So when I say endurance, I'm talking about like 5-10k type fitness. So I'm going to be trying to progress all those areas of my fitness, which I think can be done at the same time. So I hope you all enjoy seeing how I'm going about doing that. But one of the first things I'm going to be doing is the week after next is getting testing, and then I'm going to be doing a video on that, and I hope you all will find that informative. So that's really it for this week. I want to say a big thank you again to everyone who's been watching, and please don't forget to like, comment and share the videos, and please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. I will see you all again next week, but in the meantime, take care and thank you very much.